In today's Daily Dose of Math, we look at the conversion between centimeters cubed and meters cubed. This is a conversion that students often have to do while they're working on math problems, and people in my class very often get stuck as they're partway through a problem that they're understanding because of the conversion. They're looking for a conversion table, and they're hoping that the conversions will be included on their exam, or they're allowed a memory aid in the exam where they can write down those things that come in handy. But I like to show the students how I learned to do this when I was a student. And the conversion between centimeters cubed and meters cubed is one of my favorites. So what I say to the student is, okay, imagine it's moving day and you rent a van from the moving company and you also buy some really big boxes from the moving company. Let's say there's a box that is 1 meter cubed in volume. Wow, that's a really big box. So I say to the student, imagine that that box is 1 meter tall and it's 1 meter wide and it's 1 meter long. What you have is a very big box which has to be 1 meter cubed in volume. 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter equals 1 meter cubed. And then I ask the student, okay, let's say a sugar cube is 1 centimeter cubed, that all of its side lengths are 1 centimeter. How many sugar cubes are going to fit in that really big box? If we figure this out, we'll know how many centimeters cubed there are in 1 meter cubed. And then I tell the students, imagine you're lining up these sugar cubes along the bottom corner of the box, along one side, like this. You're going to keep doing it. Well, how many sugar cubes are going to fit until you get to the end of that side of the box? And of course the students say 100, and the student is right, because the sugar cubes are 1 centimeter long and the box is 1 meter long, and there are 100 centimeters in a meter. And then I say, okay, now imagine you start lining up sugar cubes along the other wall of the box, like this. How many are you going to be able to fit? And of course the student says 100, and they're right. 100 1 centimeter sugar cubes along the edge of a 1 meter long box. And then I ask, okay, now how about if we start stacking up sugar cubes up the wall of the box? How many of them are we going to be able to fit? And the student says 100, and of course the student is right again. So we're talking about 100 in length times 100 in width times 100 high, right? So then what it comes down to is you multiply 100 by 100 and you get 10,000, but then you multiply the answer by 100 and you get 1,000,000. 100 times 100 times 100 is equal to 1,000,000. That means that there are 1,000,000 centimeters cubed in 1 meter cubed. There are 1,000,000 sugar cubes in that big box. And the number always seems too big. And whenever it's volume, this happens to students as well. They start to doubt their answers because the number seems too big. But stop and think. When you multiply two numbers together, you get a big answer. When you multiply them by a third answer, it gets even bigger. So don't be surprised when you get a really large number in this situation, because think about it, centimeters cubed means we're multiplying centimeters by centimeters and then centimeters again. There are 3 numbers being multiplied together. And when you do multiplication with 3 numbers, you get very large answers. It's true, there are 1,000,000 centimeters cubed in a meter cubed. That is today's Daily Dose of Math. Please like, subscribe, and share.